going live. And we are live. There we go. There we go. What's up, world? What's going on? Chuck Harden, your power builder entrepreneur, empowering you so you can empower everything around you. And yes, it is that time for Fight Forward Friday. I know I normally come on earlier in the day, but I had a lot of meetings this morning. Work was kicking my ass this morning, so I couldn't jump on. But I'm here now, and I'm here for you, and I'm here to help you. So as you come on, please check in. Just type in the city and state that you're checking in from, that you're representing from. And if you happen to be watching a replay, just type in replay. Because I love to know what time that we get a chance to connect. But I also like to learn how large our reach is getting, how many people we're able to bless as we have these conversations in Fight Forward Friday. And the whole concept of Fight Forward Friday, the whole thing about it is that if you don't fight for what you want, what you don't want happens automatically. It happens automatically. So right now, we fight for what we want. As people calling in as I'm doing my Fight Forward Friday. We can't talk right now, right? So look, you guys, go ahead, check in with me. And then my lighting look a little off, like a look. Okay, that's better. That's better. There we go. I thought it was going to help with the blinds open, right? So you guys go ahead and check in with me. And this week, you guys, we have a kind of different Fight Forward Friday. Right? Because you got to fight for something. You're fighting for love. You're fighting for your finances. You're fighting for your family. This Fight Forward Friday is really intentional. And we got to fight for our kids. Yeah, we got to fight for our kids, you guys. This is a different conversation. And this one came upon me as I was taking my daughter to school the other day. You know, I'm blessed. I get an opportunity to spend time with kids all the time. And I get the chance to drive them to school. And it gives us a chance to kind of talk, kind of engage, interact, you know, especially with my youngest daughter. And the other day, when I was driving her to school, she had her head leaned against the window, and she was just kind of staring out the window. Wasn't very talkative this particular day, right? And as I looked back in the rearview mirror, I had to look back at her, and I was like, I wonder what she is thinking about so hard. Like, what is she pondering so hard? Like, what is life giving her that makes her look like, feel like that? You know, so of course I asked the question. I always ask her. And I said, baby girl, what you thinking about? And she said, I'm thinking about school. And I was like, okay, we think about school work or school life? You know, she was like, well, a little bit of both. I got a test over here, and so might say something over here and over there, you know. And from my perspective, all the time, I would think the kids, you know, would kind of got it made, you know, based on how I was growing up, right? Think about this, you guys. For you guys that are kind of in my demographic age range, when we had to do a paper, like my girls would complain about doing a paper, I was like, I know you're not complaining when you have Google. Right? I know you're not complaining when you have a computer that does spell check and grammar check that you have access to, right? Have you even heard of the word whiteout? Do you know what whiteout is? Have you ever heard of a card catalog? Right? We had some struggles when we had to do papers back in the day that they don't have, right? But just like we had different struggles than our parents, you know, our parents had the civil rights struggle. Just like we didn't have those struggles, we had our own struggles. And guess what? So do they. They have struggles as well. So what we have to do is what I try to do is I try to remember myself in that age, you know, where everything was so big in life, you know, and looking back on it now, it was absolutely nothing. But back then, it was the entire world. So what I'm doing today is to hopefully empowering you guys to know that we have to fight for our kids. And when I say that, normally it's all about you got to push forward, use them as motivation to keep moving, to keep working. But and we're doing that to leave a legacy for our kids. You know, the book says we should leave a legacy for our kids and our kids' kids. But a legacy is not just what we leave for our kids. Our legacy is also what we leave in our kids. So we got to take some time to make sure we're inputting things in them. You know, I'm blessed that I have a partner that's helping me raise my girls and everything. And we always have agreed well, not always agreed on how we're going to raise them, but agreed on what we're doing for them. You know, because of course we always want to protect them, but we also have to equip them. We have to equip them to deal with the world that they live in. So when they get stressed out over small things, I'm like, baby girl, you can't be this stressed over something this small. Because life does not get easier as we get older. We all know that. Life doesn't get easier. So I can't let you stress over this when there's so much else that you're going to have to deal with in life. We're going to have to not just bless you with things. We're going to have to build you up to be able to handle this world that we live in. So as we're going throughout our days, of course, I always think the best way to help and teach our kids is to show them. Because kids do what you do, not what you say. So if you want them to have that abundant lifestyle, then they need to see you living it. If you want them to have that mentality of go get it and not be afraid of life, they need to see you not being afraid of life. If you want them to go for their goals and dreams, they need to see you go for your goals and dreams. We got to show it to them, not just tell them that they can do it, but know that we can do it too, right? And my mentor said something the other day about, we was talking about legacy, and we want to leave a legacy. We also have to live our legacy. We got to live it. And it's not just for us to have it as the flex and flash, it's to show our kids that they can do amazing things as well, right? When they see you push through your fears, it lets them push through theirs. So even when I'm talking to my youngest daughter, because she still listens to me a little more, right? And I relate to her, I tell her stories about when I was young. And I don't tell her the good stories, right? I tell her the stories where I got beat up. I tell the stories where I fell short. I tell the stories where I failed. I tell the stories where I did not win. The stories where I regret things that I didn't do. We got to let them know that we had those inadequacies too, and that we still got through them. And they can learn through our stories, because there's two ways to learn, either by experience or guess what? You can learn from someone else's experience. So as we're going through our day this weekend, you guys, let's just take some time to have those kind of conversations with them, to listen to where they are in life, because they still have things they're going through. It might be small to us because we know how big life can get, but let's not neglect that it's big for them. And let's build them up, because our kids are our future. We got to fight for our kids, because we got to fight for our future. They're our future leaders. They're our future business owners. They're our future millionaires. They're our future teachers. They're our future lawyers. They're the future that we have to instill stuff in. Okay? So in taking care of them, we got to take care of ourselves too. Right? So I'm not sure who this Fight for Friday was for. I'm not sure. And I'm not sure who I'm relating to with this. Right? You might not have kids. But if you don't, bless this and give it to somebody else. You might be doing an amazing job on raising some incredible people, right? If you are, help me, right? We all in the community around here. But what we can do is do the best we can and be sure that we're not just trying to leave a legacy for our kids. We leave a legacy in our kids. We give them every good thing that we have within us, that we know that they have it and they're taking it to the next level. All right. So if this didn't bless you guys, hopefully it helps somebody. If you think it could bless somebody else, share it with them. My mentor always say a blessing ain't a blessing unless you can give it away. And this is one of those things you can give away. All right. So heartfelt from Chuck Harden, your power builder entrepreneur, empowering you so you can empower everything around you. You guys take it easy, man. Let's make it a great one. Peace.